There's no ambient light below like 1 metre. Everything is black. The first dive I dived on this site to, what I thought was white pebbles turns out to be a human jawbone with all the teeth still attached.
Apart from living in Lichtenstein, which is on the Thames most of my life, I was also married to a Lee fisherman. I liked being Colin's wife. I liked him being a fisherman. I liked saying my husband's a fisherman. I thought it was romantic.
When you find coins and artefacts, they are Rhinish stoneware from the 17th century, they're Delftware from Holland, coins from the Baltic, sack seals from Russia, but also you find clay pipes with Virginian tobacco. So you know the New World is coming in to London, because obviously Pocahontas is buried in Gravesend.
It's a very strange sort of eerie atmosphere. In 1 minute you're kind of in Southend and got all the buzz and the sort of the noise, and then you're just out in the middle of the estuary.
Some of the things I've caught in my nets are obviously ordnance, bombs, mines. I've had a whole aeroplane. I had a bolt and pull Defender.
I mean, Gravesend was where you waited on the tide, so that whole Conradian heart of darkness is you're waiting here for the moment when the tide changes, so you can go off, you can go right downriver and off into the world's oceans, but you can't just do it. You have to pause here to wait for your moment.
My father was in the tugs. He went afloat in 1926, the year of the general strike. So he worked on the tugs all his life, and it was quite natural, like lots of industries that were family orientated, for sons to follow in their father's footsteps.
We came to Canvey Island, which then often was regarded as London by the sea. People had, since the 1920s, been going to Canvey for proper summer holidays, 2 weeks in a guest house.
I went to Greenhithe in Kent, where the Cambria barge was based, and asked the skipper if he'd give me a job. They just sailed with the skipper and mate sometimes, but they needed a third hand, so he took me on.
Foreshore department goes back many, many years, but it had always been a male-dominated service. I was the first female foreshore inspector.
My father's side moved here from Barlin in about 1512, and my mother's side, they could trace back to being fishermen of Lee in the Domesday Book.
Oh, we've had all sorts of things. We've had problems with government. We've had warships turning up and from various nations, but the British Navy are bringing policemen out trying to convince us that my father's sold it back to the British government. We've had Germans and Dutchmen come out in a KLM helicopter and hold me prisoner out there for 3 or 4 days. We've had helicopter assaults taking it back. We've had some very, very interesting times over the years.